Have you ever wondered why some people can't stop doing certain things even when it's hurting them? Teachers who can't teach before taking alcohol, or track drivers pulling off just to take cigarettes. Children penalized by their parents not once for not doing the home chores simply because they were in video games. A question that leads us to the heart of our discussion today: addiction. Let's start by demystifying what addiction truly is. According to the American Psychological Association, addiction is a condition in which the body must have a drug to avoid physical and psychological withdrawal symptoms. It's an insatiable craving, a compulsive need, and an inability to stop using a substance or engaging in a behavior despite harmful consequences. Stanton Peele, in his book The Meaning of Addiction, defines addiction as a psychological and physical dependence on a substance or behavior resulting in significant harm. This definition encapsulates the complex interplay of psychological and physiological aspects of addiction and underscores the consequential harm it engenders. Philosophers such as Jean-Paul Sartre have contributed to understanding addiction's philosophical dimensions. In Being and Nothingness, Sartre posits that addiction can be a manifestation of bad faith, a state where individuals evade their responsibilities by resorting to substances or behaviors, thereby leading to an inauthentic existence. Addiction isn't confined to just substance abuse like alcohol, drugs, or nicotine. It spreads its tentacles into the realm of behavior as well. Behavioral addiction, also known as process addiction, includes compulsions like gambling, masturbation, eating, shopping, and even internet use. These, while seemingly harmless, can spiral into detrimental habits if not kept in check. Philosophically, addiction has been perceived in various lights. Some philosophers argue that addiction is a failure of rationality, where people succumb to their immediate desires at the cost of their long-term well-being. Others see it as a testament to human weakness, an inherent flaw in our character. Yet there are those who believe that addiction is a form of self-medication, a way of coping with the pain and struggles of life. However, regardless of the philosophical viewpoint, the fact remains that addiction is a pervasive issue. It doesn't discriminate based on age, race, gender, or social status. It can grip anyone, turning their life upside down and leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. But let's not forget, addiction isn't an isolated problem. It seeps into the fabric of society, affecting not only the individual but also their family, friends, and community. It's a societal concern that demands our attention and action. So as we delve deeper into this topic, remember, understanding addiction is the first step towards addressing it. It's about time we pull the mask off addiction and expose it for what it truly is. Addiction isn't just a personal issue, it's a societal concern that affects us all. So don't say, "Leave me alone, it is my life." Let's understand addiction even better. What makes a person succumb to addiction? Is it their environment, genetics, or something else completely? Let's dive deeper and understand its root cause and the proven, powerful, cosmic way of coming out of it. I have used this method in my consultancy with tremendous results, healing my patients from masturbation and many kinds of addiction. Research has shown that addiction can be in part a genetic predisposition. Like the color of your eyes or your propensity for certain health conditions, addiction can run in families. Studies from the National Institute on Drug Abuse reveal that genetic factors account for about 40 to 60% of a person's vulnerability to addiction. But it's not just about the genes we inherit. Mark Lewis, in his book The Biology of Desire, delves into the physiological underpinnings of addiction. He discusses how addiction fundamentally alters the brain's reward system, rendering individuals increasingly incapable of controlling their impulses. In Chasing the Scream by Johann Hari, the author investigates the socio-cultural factors contributing to addiction. He argues that societal disconnection and a lack of purpose can drive individuals towards substance abuse as a means of escape. Our environment plays a significant role too. The places we grow up, the people we surround ourselves with, and the experiences we have can all impact our likelihood of developing an addiction. For instance, those who grow up in households where substance abuse is prevalent are more likely to fall into similar patterns. Then there's the often overlooked but crucial factor of mental health. Conditions like depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder can make individuals more prone to addiction, as they may use substances or behaviors as a means to cope, to escape, or to feel something other than their emotional pain. Now let's take a philosophical turn. Existentialism posits that individuals have total free will. In the face of life's inherent meaninglessness, some might turn to addictive substances or behaviors to fill the void. On the other hand, hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure and self-indulgence, can also lead one down the path of addiction. The constant chase for the next high, the next thrill, can become an all-consuming obsession. So you see, addiction is not a simple issue. It's a complex interplay of genetics, environment, mental health, and individual philosophy. It's a battle fought on multiple fronts, and understanding these root causes is the first step in addressing it. Understanding the causes of addiction can help us empathize with those struggling and can guide us towards effective solutions. But what are its effects? Just like a stone thrown into a pond, addiction creates ripples that extend far beyond the individual. The effects of addiction are not confined to the person experiencing it. They ripple out, touching everyone nearby like a stone causing waves in a tranquil pond. In The Addictive Personality by Craig Natkin suggests that addiction becomes problematic when it interferes with daily life, causing distress and functional impairment. Firstly, let's consider the individual. Addiction is like a thief in the night, robbing the person of their freedom, their potential, their dreams. As Carl Jung once stated, every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. The individual becomes a prisoner, chained by the very thing they once believed to be their escape or comfort. But remember, the ripples don't stop there. The family is the next to feel the waves. Addiction in a family can lead to broken relationships, financial strain, and emotional turmoil. In the words of psychologist Melanie Greenberg, addiction doesn't just affect the person who is using, the whole family feels the effects. Society too feels the impact. Addiction can result in lost productivity, increased crime rates, and higher healthcare costs. Philosopher Michel Foucault wrote, "We are all more simply human than otherwise," reminding us that the societal effects of addiction are a shared burden. But it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, addiction creates a ripple effect. Yet, just as ripples in a pond eventually fade, so too can the effects of addiction. It requires understanding, compassion, and most importantly, action. As the philosopher Seneca once said, "It's not because things are difficult that we dare not venture. It's because we dare not venture that they are difficult." The ripple effect of addiction is a stark reminder of our interconnectedness. It highlights the importance of treating addiction not just as an individual issue, but as a societal one that requires collective effort and understanding. The impact of addiction is far-reaching, but hope is not lost. There are ways to heal. The journey may be difficult, but with the right support and resources, recovery is within reach. And remember, when one person heals, we all heal. Because just like the ripples in a pond, healing too extends far beyond the individual. Well, how then can we recover? How does one break free from the shackles of addiction? This is a question that has been asked by countless individuals, echoing through the ages. The road to recovery, while challenging, is not an insurmountable one. It is paved with various methods and strategies that, when combined, can prove to be a powerful weapon against addiction. Let's discuss 3 ways one can heal from addiction. The first being medication. Medication can play a pivotal role in overcoming addiction. Seeking medical attention from specialized doctors can help one fight this challenge. While not a cure-all, it can help manage withdrawal symptoms and cravings, making the healing process less daunting. The second one is decision. This is the ultimate cure for any addiction, a method that aligns with the universe, true cosmic energies that govern our upright and purposeful existence. You have to make a choice and a firm decision to stop and have a cognitive awareness, starting with your why. Why do you want to stop addiction? Once you craft your why so well, it will be your driving force out of this. In TV series like Peaky Blinder, Thomas Shelby, despite his intense addiction to alcohol, came season 6. He made the decision to quit alcohol. His soberness led to success that we can all agree on. In the words of renowned philosopher and psychologist William James, "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." I have dealt with patients who tried medication but still found themselves back into addiction. But once we crafted the reasons as to why they should consider quitting, despite the human desire or pull from the circle that they enjoyed this with, they eventually overcame it. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is particularly effective, as it teaches individuals to recognize and change detrimental patterns of thought that may lead to addictive behaviors. This is the essence of CBT, the power to choose healthier thoughts and behaviors. As the philosopher Plato once said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself." J.K. Rowling reminded us that it is our choices that show what we truly are far more than our abilities. In the words of Deepak Chopra, "You are the choices you make, you are the decisions you make, you are the reflections of everything you have done in your life." So you have to decide, you have to make a choice. It has to start with you. So decide. Lastly, the third one is support groups. Support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous offer a community of individuals who understand the struggles of addiction. They provide a safe space to share experiences and gain strength from others. As the philosopher Seneca astutely noted, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. In the context of addiction, this understanding can be profoundly healing. Lifestyle changes are also crucial in the journey to recovery. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep can help restore physical health and boost mental resilience. As the philosopher Socrates once advised, take care of your body with steadfast fidelity. Overcoming addiction is a process, a journey. It requires patience, determination, and a willingness to seek help when needed. As we've seen, therapy, medication, support groups, and lifestyle changes can all contribute to this journey, each in their own unique way. Overcoming addiction isn't easy, but it's possible, and the journey is worth it. So let's keep walking the road to recovery, one step at a time. But above all, it is your job to understand why you want to quit. So what have we learned about addiction? Well, if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that addiction is not a choice, but a complex interplay of factors that may include genetics, environment, and personal experiences. It's a chronic disease, not a moral failing or a lack of willpower. We've discussed that the root cause of addiction varies greatly from one person to another. Some may succumb to addiction due to a genetic predisposition, while others may be influenced by their environment or traumatic experiences. Understanding these root causes is the first step towards healing. The ripple effect of addiction is also something we've delved into. It's not just the individual who suffers, but those around them as well. Relationships can become strained, careers may falter, and physical health can decline. The societal cost of addiction is immense and often under-recognized. But here's the silver lining. Overcoming addiction, though challenging, is far from impossible. As we've explored, there are numerous strategies and resources available to aid in recovery. From professional help like therapy and medication to self-help strategies such as mindfulness, decision-making, and exercise, the road to recovery may be rocky, but it's certainly navigable. More importantly, remember that those struggling with addiction are not alone. There's a vast network of support out there, from dedicated professionals to understanding family members and friends. The journey to recovery is one that doesn't have to be taken alone. To wrap it all up, we've seen that addiction is a complex, multifaceted issue that can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or socioeconomic status. But with a better understanding of what addiction is, its causes, and its effects, we can take meaningful steps towards overcoming it. Addiction is a complex issue, but with understanding and support, healing is within reach. The good news is when you decide, you take control.